A warm welcome to Tuesday's edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. As per usual, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, hit the like button, and be sure to click the bell icon to stay updated with the latest happenings locally and internationally. In tonight's lead, we begin in the Zambezi region. The Directorate of Veterinary Services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform has lifted the foot and mouth disease restrictions in the region since an outbreak was detected in May 2021. Erasmus Shalihakwe compiled our first report.
A media statement issued today by Chief Veterinary Officer Dr. Albertina Shilongo said following the successful control and containment of the disease through intensive disease surveillance conducted by the Directorate, the last confirmed case of the disease in the region was reported on the 4th of November 2021. She said in line with Namibia's foot and mouth disease contingency plan, outbreak restrictions in disease protection and infected zones can be lifted 3 months after the last confirmed case. Hence, all restrictions imposed as a result of the outbreak are lifted with immediate effect. Shilongo noted in order to prevent future outbreaks, vaccinations against foot and mouth disease will continue in the region, and farmers are urged to bring their cattle to the crush pens when announcements are made by veterinary services.
In a cautionary move, the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources has advised the public against the consumption of mullet fish, which was washed to shore at the Walvis Bay Lagoon until the cause has been established. Our coastal-based journalist Isabel Bento compiled the story.
Videos went viral on Sunday depicting the dead and dying mullet as well as jellyfish at the town's lagoon area and Mola Beach in Swakopmund respectively. In a statement issued on Monday, the ministry noted that the weekend southwesterly winds might have caused the warming of water, which are favorable for algal bloom, which can be toxic and can strip the water column of oxygen when decaying. The statement outlined that low oxygen conditions are presumed to have trapped the fish in the lagoon and along the coast, causing them to die and wash out when the water levels drop during low tide. The ministry added that it is conducting water analysis to identify the phytoplankton species present in the Walvis Bay Lagoon and harbour to determine whether they are toxic or not. Additionally, the warm oceanic water presently along the central coast transports many jellyfish, which are trapped in bays like the Mola or wash up on the beaches. The jellyfish stink can inflict pain in humans when gotten in contact with, however it is harmless. People who have been stung by a jellyfish are advised not to rub the affected area as it will increase and prolong the burning sensation. Reporting for Nampa News, Isabel Bento, Walvis Bay.
The National Unity Democratic Organization, NUDO, says German-speaking Namibians must stop lying about obtaining large tracts of land legally, as their forebears stole and expropriated land without compensation. Edward Mumbu Jr. compiled this insert.
NUDO issued a statement today responding to Harry Schneider-Waterberg, a Namibian of German descent, and like-minded counterparts who hold the view that German settlers never stole land. According to NUDO, such remarks are provocative, insensitive, and may trigger an uprising from the Ovaherero and Nama communities who have incurred massive losses at the hands of German imperialists. NUDO's head of communication, Noki Kapehi, said Schneider-Waterberg seems to forget the Land and Livestock Expropriation Ordinance 151 of 1907, which expropriated all land and livestock of the Nama and Ovaherero people and sold it at huge subsidies to the new settler soldiers while the Nama and Ovaherero were kept in concentration camps. Schneider-Waterberg's statement, NUDO says, undermines peace and democracy in Namibia. It is an eyesore for NUDO that these reserves, popularly known as reservat, remain in place to this day. Last week, Schneider-Waterberg was quoted as saying, "The people, Germans, who came here, none of them stole any land. The people who came here brought the land under the laws of the government of the day." Schneider-Waterberg, a founding member of the Forum of German-Speaking Namibians, made the remarks during a Deutsche Welle debate on the draft genocide agreement.
Now, moving on to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Monday called for diplomacy to defuse the heightened tensions between Russia and Ukraine. Xinhua brings us more.
In a press encounter, Guterres said he was deeply worried about the current tension and increased speculation about a potential military conflict. He said they simply cannot accept even the possibility of such a disastrous confrontation. Guterres noted that there is no alternative to diplomacy. He stressed all issues, including the most intractable, can and must be addressed and resolved through diplomatic frameworks. Earlier on Monday, the Secretary General held a virtual meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He also spoke separately with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba.
Your top roundup is up next. Welcome to the Business and Economic segment. The Namibian Ports Authority, NAMPORT, continues to record growth and business amid global economic constraints. Isabel Bento compiled this report.
According to NAMPORT's Acting Executive for Commercial Services, Elisa Hashela, the Ports Authority has recorded an increase of 252 vessel calls during April 2021 to January 2022, 24% more compared to the previous financial year 2020-2021. Hashela said the increase in vessel calls were predominantly due to increased petroleum vessels, Namibian and foreign fishing vessels, foreign tugs, and research vessels. An increase of 16% is also noted in vessel gross tonnages. He added that the Ports Authority is equally proud to announce an increase in its bulk and break bulk volumes with an improvement of 173,587 tons year-on-year. Hashela explained that this growth is mainly due to increased exports of 251,334 tons of commodities such as marble, ship space, petroleum products and bulk salt. NAMPORT has over the past 2 decades recorded substantial growth in both size and significance, from a minor national port to a key regional and international role player. Hashela stressed that the Namibian Ports Authority is well on the trajectory of realizing its vision of becoming the best performing seaport in Africa. Reporting for Nampa News, Isabel Bento, Walfish Bay.
Local independent economist Mali Likukela says the Bank of Namibia is likely to keep the repo rate steady. The central bank is expected to announce its first monetary policy on Wednesday. Maggie Thomas compiled this report for us.
Economist Mali Likukela told the Namibia Press Agency in an interview today, Namibia's international reserves are favorable and sufficient to sustain the currency peg arrangement, and the difference between South Africa and Namibia's repo rate is not wide enough to trigger capital outflow to South Africa. Likukela explained that there is a weak stimuli from low interest rates, as can be seen in low uptake of credit by businesses and households over the past months from the time the bank started cutting the repo rate. In contrast, a report by Fitch Solutions indicated that Namibia is expected to follow the monetary policy trajectory of the South African Reserve Bank, which increased the neighboring country's repo rate recently. At its final Monetary Policy Committee meeting of December 2021, the Bank of Namibia kept the repo rate at 3.75% for the 8th consecutive time. The decision reflects the central bank's view that the current repo rate is appropriate to support the domestic economy, which has been weakened due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and to protect the Namibian dollar's one-to-one peg to the South African rand.
With the business segment, we've come to the end of the top news segment for this evening. Stay tuned for the economics roundup.
A warm welcome to Everything Sport on Sport Planet with me, Joy Gosses. We begin with tennis. Novak Djokovic says he will not defend his Wimbledon or French Open titles if the tournaments require mandatory vaccination for competitors. DBA brings us more.
The 34-year-old, who is not vaccinated against COVID-19, told the BBC he would forego the tournaments because the principles of decision-making on my body are more important than any title or anything else. Djokovic distanced himself from the anti-vaccination movement despite being deported from Melbourne ahead of the Australian Open last month amid concerns about his vaccine status. The Serbian is set to return to action at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, which begin on the 21st of February. Entrants to Dubai do not need to be vaccinated against COVID-19 and is a tournament Djokovic has won 5 times.
On to Champions League news. Paris Saint-Germain will have Neymar available for tonight's Champions League last 16 tie against Real Madrid. Neymar, who turned 30 earlier this month, has not played since suffering an ankle ligament injury in a win over Saint Etienne in November. More from DBA once more.
It has now been confirmed that Neymar is in the squad, with PSG revealing their 24-man selection ahead of tonight's game. Neymar, who has scored only 3 goals this season, seems unlikely to start in Paris. He is joined in the squad by Lionel Messi, who scored 26 goals in 45 appearances against Madrid for Barcelona, and Kylian Mbappe, who may well be playing for Los Blancos next season. As expected, Sergio Ramos will not be fit to face his former club, though Pochettino is able to call on the services of ex-Madrid goalkeeper Keylor Navas, while Ander Herrera has also returned to the fold after missing the win over Rennes on Friday, as has Idrissa Gueye following his successful Africa Cup of Nations campaign with Senegal. Karim Benzema was Madrid's big injury concern heading into tonight's first leg, but the France striker was included in Carlo Ancelotti's squad, which was confirmed on Monday.
Your sports roundup is up next. We have come to the end of tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you for joining us. Another reminder that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the freshest happenings locally and internationally. Feel free to add your comments as well in the comments section. Catch us tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gosses, and the entire production crew, it's good night.